Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe. Coming up on the program this morning, the USA beats the Super Falcons by 2-0, and it was all about Christian Press and also Lynn Williams, who scored on the 8th half of the game for them to beat Nigeria 2-0. Also on the program, Italy are already through to the quarterfinals of the Euros after 2 games, 6 goals, and of course 6 points, and they are already in the next stage. Also on the program, yes, the Atlanta Hawks again staging a staggering comeback against the 76ers to lead the Eastern Conference semifinals 3-2. All about Trae Young on the 9th, and of course Joel Embiid, but Trae Young was the one who won the battle. All right, I'll not be doing the talking alone this morning. From the very beginning of the program, I'm joined by Femi Farawe, a sports journalist. Good morning, it's good to have you.
Great to be here. Good morning.
When you say sports journalist, you're trying to identify which of the radio stations you need to pick now. Lagos Talks or which? Okay, all of them. 4 in 1 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning, it's good to have you. So let's start off with the NBA. I'll start with the results from the night 2 games from the West and also from the East. And we have Game 6 will definitely be in our hands because of the teams that are involved. For the Clippers, yes, they were able to also win the game, take it to Game 6. They lead the series 3-2. For the Hawks, 109 and 106 lead the series 3-2 also. Now, let's talk quickly about the Clippers, because it was another second half rally on the card at Salt Lake Clippers. We saw that onslaught from the Jazz, who were just on fire. 3 points shooting was as if it was going out of fashion because of the way they started, but somehow the Clippers staged a comeback and they were able to hold on to win.
No, I thought it was brilliant what they did, the Clippers. You're playing a game without your star player, Kawhi Leonard, and there was all questions about will Paul George be able to step up and do what he had to do. And before the game, I remember him going and look, you need to think about it. Without Kawhi, the rest of us must step up. And he did.
He did.
Putting quite a number of points in as well to ensure the team goes through. I was sort of disappointed. It seems as though the Jazz have started this season like a house on fire. They've played all the way to the playoffs. But when it matters the most, this sort of point, they're beginning to burn out. Rudy Gobert didn't look as defensive as he'd like to be. Donovan Mitchell also was there. But just they spread the points all over. But the Clippers have got experience. They've got that sort of drive, that hunger. And that's what they practically did. 3 points, free throws, turnovers. They ensured they got everything positively for them. And practically what it's done is they're going over to Game 6 in Utah. So there's a lot of pressure on the Utah Jazz. But I thought the Clippers did very well without Kawhi Leonard. They
did very well. I mean, Utah, as you mentioned, they made just 3 of 24 3-pointers in the second half. It's like after giving it all in the first and second, but then in the other half, I think 73s in the first half. But in the second half, we were able to just make only 3, which was really woeful. Paul George, as you mentioned, with 37 points, grabbing 16 rebounds. And of course, he got support from Marcus Morris, 25, Reggie Jackson, also 22 for the Clippers. So they can just even out the series on Friday, right? If they're able to do that. Now, let's talk about the game of the night, the one we teased earlier, which was a remarkable comeback. I mean, for the Atlanta Hawks, yes, maybe the underdog tag is actually working for them. This is not the first time they're doing this against the 76ers.
Yeah, well, this time as well, it was unbelievable. Now, you know, in Game 4, they had a similar situation as well. The rally from 18-point deficit, found a way to turn it around. There was a sort of excitement, and as much as you always think that, oh, you put out one player, nothing else, they spread the play. There was even a Nigerian, Onyeka, who came off the bench as well.
6 minutes and 6 points.
It was decent. So it was a good point. Trae Young was everywhere. They turned things around. No matter what the 76ers put forward, they practically had everything. Joel Embiid had a great game. Had a good game. For someone who put in about 37 points in the game, it was disappointing to know that
rebounds.
The support cast practically went not
But
there.
Seth Curry was also there, 36. I think he was the only one who actually made, he was the one who made more points in the final quarter. It was more like the only player who stayed hot all through while the others went cold.
You know, when you look at the cast of the Philadelphia 76ers, they won the Eastern Conference in the regular season. You would believe that, look, you know what, this game, they'll push them aside. But I love what the Hawks have done. They understand their strength. And when you play to your strength, that, oh, this is what we've got, our opponents have got this, ensure that we may not be able to stop Joel Embiid. He's arguably a beast when it comes to the court, but we can take out the other guys. And they practically did that. Ensured they pushed all of them one way. Okay, you just keep getting your points, but we'll ensure that the others do not go through. Great defensive work from the Hawks. Great fight back. They are the first team to do it twice in the playoffs. The last time was 18. This time was 22 points.
Yeah,
they kept fighting. I thought it was remarkable. It was great.
It was. And Trae Young led all scorers with 39 points, added 7 rebounds, scored 17 of 19 from free throw range, offsetting that 10 of 23 that he had from the field, which wasn't really too cold for him. But let's get post-match reaction from the Hawks first. Trae Young and, of course, the coach, what they had to say, how they were able to do another remarkable comeback against the 76ers.
These guys just continue to just show true character. You know, we've been in that position before. We was in somewhat of a similar position last game against Philadelphia. We're down 13 at the half, 13-14 at the half, and just no quit in these guys. You know, they continue to, you know, stay with what we were trying to do. We eventually found a hot hand in Lou. And found the rotation that was working for us. We started to get stops and just continued to stay with it. You know, we talk about our 3 C's, being calm, you know, being clear about what we need to do and being connected out there on both ends of the floor. And they show, again, they just showed their true character tonight.
I mean, Lou started it off. Lou started off that fourth quarter aggressive, attacking, scoring. And it really opened up everything else for us. And, I mean, without his scoring and his impact on a nice game, who knows if we come back in the game. So I think his offensive performance definitely opened up things for everybody. So it was a big part of the reason why we came back. We've been doing this a lot recently, especially after the break. We really been doing a lot better at closing out games and finishing games, no matter what the score is. So, yeah, that's pretty much it, and it's been good.
Trae Young right there. I mean, credit must be given to Nate McMillan because how he has actually turned this Atlanta Hawks team around.
Yeah, he's done a great job. And before the game, he says, you know, we need to get this one sorted and then look forward to Game 6. And that's practically what they've done because the battle isn't over. Yeah. They're fighting one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference. So Game 6 comes once again. I think that's Saturday morning for us here. It just tells you that they're going over to Philadelphia, to get the 6th game. I think it'll be great. You cannot write off the 76ers. You can't. But I thought the Hawks, if they bow out at this moment, they probably will raise their head and say, we've put in a very good shift all through the playoffs. Yeah,
let's see what the 76ers can come up with. But Doc Rivers, of course, again, is not happy. When they lost in Game 4, he talked about the fact that the players will play heroes game. I mean, individuality. But right now, they tried not to play the heroes game. But yet, they lost. They could not just hold on to win against the underdog Atlanta Hawks.
You know, it's funny, Kai. I thought it started at the beginning of the second half, even though we kept the lead. I think we had 6 turnovers in our first 10 possessions to start the third quarter. That's why I called the early timeout. You can see we kind of exhaled, relaxed. You know, the first unit was just good enough, and Seth carried us in that stretch to keep the lead at 22, where it could have very easily been at 30 if we don't turn the ball over. And then, you know, obviously you got to take guys out, and the second group really struggled tonight. In the second half, they were phenomenal in the first half, and then in the second half, they struggled. And then down the stretch, listen, we scored 19 points and gave up 40. So it's on us, it's on all of us, it's on me, it's on the players, and we have to figure out how to get back up, which we will, and bring this game back here for Game 7.
I think mental. You know, we were up, we had it. I think we just gave it to them. We got too comfortable. And didn't play the way we should be playing. You know, didn't move the ball as much in the second half. Didn't get as many easy shots, and then defensively, too many lapses where we didn't communicate.
Obviously, it's not a happy man this morning. Kind of tough for all of them because you wouldn't want to let this game drag for so long. Now they're thinking of how they're going to tie the game in Game 6 and moving over to Game 7. Why the Hawks advantage for them because all they're thinking about is how they can, you know, just even out the series and get to win the final game. Maybe get into the finals of the Eastern Conference. I mean, I never saw this coming anyway.
Oh, yeah, obviously. But for them, great one as well. Because
wrap my head around it.
Game 6 automatically means there's a possibility of a Game 7 for the Hawks. But there's a lot of pressure coming for the 76ers. They have to win Game 6. They must. If not, they're out.
2 games they have to win, and the Hawks just won.
Just
win
one
this,
more.
and that's it.
Oh, yeah, and that's it.
Okay, and Clippers also have a whole lot to do. I mean, just win one, and then for the first time, they'll be in the Western Conference Finals. And the Lakers are already home. Okay, now let's leave the NBA. Top performers, yes, the guys who put up the numbers on the night. You already know them. Ben Simmons, come on. I'm talking about Trae Young, 39, 1 and 7 for him on the night. And of course, followed by Joel Embiid, who had a double-double, 37, 13 and 5. But it just wasn't enough because literally he was alone, except Seth Curry, who also joined him, having 36 points on the night. And of course, go over to what happened with the Clippers. Also about Paul George, you mentioned earlier, literally carrying this team, shouldered the whole responsibility, 37, 16 and 5. And they just have they need one more game to be in the Western Conference Finals. See if they can do that on Friday night. Austin, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good to be on the show. Good morning to all our viewers. To our viewers worldwide, it's always sporty greetings. Good to be on the show.
Thank you. Okay, now Kamaru Usman, he's been, homecoming for him. He was in Lagos. Right now, he's gone to Benin City, Edo State. We know that he's from Edo State, Auchi precisely. He met with the deputy governor in the state. And of course, a whole lot is happening with Kamaru Usman homecoming. Especially, he talked about academy and some other stuff he wants to do, just grow the sports in the country. I mean, receiving this, how does it make you feel knowing that this superstar, because he said he was going to come home, and for the first time in 20 years, he's home. And we can see pictures, of the welcoming he actually received in Edo State, the state of his birth. And he's been, doing a great job, kind of projecting the good name of Nigeria, especially being the champion in the welterweight division in UFC.
I was losing you towards the end of your question, but yeah, I'm just going to jump right into the conversation. If you can hear me, I'm super excited with Kamaru Usman's homecoming. And what a story! Yeah, these UFC fighters, they're beginning to, make me their #1 fan because they say things and they do them. They're so inspired. First it was Israel Adesanya. I think Sadiq has also been to the country. Was on the show. Now, Kamaru Usman, this is massive. For millions of Nigerian young talents who knows Kamaru Usman, understands the story, now they know that they are within touching distance to greatness. Just seeing this belt back home in Edo State, it's a source of motivation and inspiration to young talents. And I love the fact that he said it and he did it. And the Edo State government, they have said now with this guy that we have as our son, we're going to do more for combat sports. That's what we're talking about. And he has said he's going to support. So at the end of the day, don't just come, share the belt, go see one governor, go see deputy governor, and then you leave it at that. Shout out again to Edo State and the love they've shown for sports development. I saw the deputy governor try to spar with Kamaru Usman. Like, look, Kamaru, don't throw any punch, And it was good. It was so good because this is the beginning of the development of combat sports and martial arts in Nigeria. Because now, if it starts in Edo State with Kamaru Usman being the central figure, and then they're able to make it spread. Edo is close to some other states in the country. And they say, oh, look at what they are doing in Edo, let's jump on it. You see, this is what we're talking about, taking steps. When you take those steps and it gets to a point that other persons feel that same effect, that's development. So shout out to Kamaru Usman. He's back home. He loves Nigeria big time. Even before he became a champion, he and Israel Adesanya, they've always been repping this country. And that's why we love them so much. So welcome home, Kamaru Usman. I love everything about this visit that I've been hearing, and it just made me feel like, oh my God, I wish I was back home this period.
Oh, you missed out on this one, Femi. I mean, you were what's good on Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Where, for the first homecoming right here in Lagos. I mean, we've seen pictures, from Edo State. I think this is a real homecoming here because what he was able to do, going to the stadium and just seeing what's happening around.
They really, Austin already mentioned it. They really welcomed him from the airport, the dancing, the celebration, the fanfare. And the fact that quite a lot of Nigerians know about this sport, they all turned out just to show support as well for him. He's been all smiles. I heard him speak pidgin.
Yes,
I heard him speak pidgin. I'm like, say it again, do it again. And then he was so good. He says, I've missed speaking the language. I've missed eating the food. He was always talking about jollof rice.
Yes.
Before he even landed, like, he just wanted. So he's had a great time as well. I hope as well he'll be able to impact properly. Directly to the youth, because this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
He left Nigeria many years ago, and 20 years after he's returned a champion. So he's a role model as well to many people. He's the sort of guy everyone wants to listen to. I love what Edo State government is doing as well. It's good to connect with your very own, and I hope he also goes on to inspire more people.
Yeah, I hope so too. Now, we'll go on a short break. When we come back, we should listen to him and, of course, the Edo State Deputy Governor, what they intend to do to promote the sport in the country.
For each and every fight you hear them say, I will choose Nigeria every time. Because I felt compelled to carry on the pride. Even if I left as a small boy, I still felt compelled to carry on. So this is a pleasure being back home. It's a lot of heartfelt moment. It's been a while. So I've been waiting for a long time. Being in America, see my English is very sharp. I did another wings to come low pitch. I want to thank you guys for receiving us. It's a pleasure to be back home, and hopefully, everything goes right. I'll be here to come more.
Edo used to be home of sports in Nigeria. All the coaches and sport administrators presently in the country passed through the School of Sports in Edo State. But unfortunately, government for a long time went on recess as far as sporting activities was concerned. This administration now brought back that lost glory. I'm sure during the day you've been they rebuilt Samuel Ogumudia Stadium. When you get there, you see the level of work that have taken place there. And we just hosted the 20th National Sports Festival. For us, we used it to relaunch ourselves back to being the leading sporting states and returning sports back to the native land, which is Edo State. So your coming is a boost. Your coming, we also encourage the young ones to know that sports is not only good for your health, but also through sport, you can be the real ambassador for the state and for the country. You, for us, is our pride, and we'll use you for a long time as a role model for the other younger generation to emulate. We want to relate sport with education. Our SUBEB and our post-primary education board are in synergy now with the sport commission to see how we can catch these children combining education with sports, so that we will have, like I always said, we will have the likes of Socrates, we have the like of Adoke Amesimeka, where after the sojourn of sports, you can return back to being a medical doctor, being your lawyer or accountant, or you can even set up an academy using your education. So that is what we are now doing as a state. And we will like to partner with you in these directions. So our sports commission will be reaching you, maybe through your manager, to see how your state and you can partner in this area so that we can jointly have more champions like you coming from your homeland, Edo State. Thank you.
You can see the pride there from Philippe Shaibu, Deputy Governor of Edo State. Yes, you can be proud, especially when someone from your state is actually doing the country proud. I mean, this guy is historic because, I mean, he's got the longest winning run right now in the UFC welterweight division. So you just look at him and what he has achieved, and just from nowhere, and you know, being able to just project it. And the fact that he mentioned something about people say if he was in Nigeria, he won't be able to be this successful. And that's why he's home, to see if he can actually, you know, groom these young ones who are looking up to him to also, you know, achieve that, achieve that kind of position, because sometimes you can be home and also be successful. You don't have to go
That's
out.
why I totally disagree when people say he probably won't have achieved quite a number. Yes, the exposure, the experience, the training, the coaching, obviously, you probably find more of that. But number one, it takes discipline, self-discipline, and that's what Kamaru Usman has shown us over time. You mentioned the unbeaten run. He's arguably the number one pound for pound fighter in the UFC. And what he's done is he's not overlapping. You've beaten everyone in your division. They're starting again. I'm going to go round again to beat everyone, because until you can give me someone who can challenge me, I'm just going to go around beating all of you. Just an aside, I thought that was the first time I'd seen in a long time the deputy governor that excited. I've not seen that in a long time. I was practically smiling from cheek to chin. But Usman, great project as well, great idea. For Edo State, there's a lot of work to be done. If you want to get the next champion, if you want to get the next fighter, it's a lot of investments. That's practically, you don't just get them by saying, oh, we set up an academy, we put a couple of coaches. They must be exposed to everything, seeing what a real fight is like, seeing what practice and training is like, getting the opportunity to mingle with this guy. So imagine I sit in the same room and I say I'm a 10-year-old boy. And I talk to Usman, and how do you prepare for a fight? Don't tell me the things everyone knows. Tell me the things you do behind. Do you eat a lot? Do you wake up at 5 a.m.? Do you drink a lot of water? All those little things. Oh, what's your aspiration? What do you want to do? Because Kamaru Usman is 34. But at 34, he still plans to do a lot in the octagon. A child or a young fighter wants to know all these things if they want to excel. And that's why I'm hoping that this project will continue. There'll be some form of consistency that will see it for a long period to come.
That's what we want to see. Austin, the main, he said it all. Maybe we'll just move over from Kamaru Usman now, but we're just waiting to see if we can get another champ from Nigeria here. I mean, being successful, because Femi just said that you don't have to be over there to be successful. You can actually be homegrown here, especially if you get the support and the system is right. You can be able to achieve what you want to achieve.
That's the word, Cecilia, the system. I keep saying that we lack systems, and as a country, we must address that issue. You know, so Kamaru Usman has shown us that, look, I'm 100 Niger to the core. Spend a moment with this guy and he's trying to blow pigeon with you if he knows you're Nigerian, you know, because he wants to prove to you that, look, I'm Nigerian through and through. Most times, why these guys are not back home is because we lack the enabling environment. So I like the fact that the Edo State government have put a charge to him. They've said to him, this is what we want to do. And you're a son of the land. Did you see how he was coexisting with everybody, making them laugh? So if you bring the best infrastructure, what this sort of champ will do is he will come work on the mentality of young talent. Because every time people think it's all about just having the right facilities, you pumping money. No, you need somebody who can walk you through the culture of winning. And that's what you have in Kamaru Usman. So if you do the right thing,
mentorship there, that's what it's all about when it comes to this kind of stuff. Okay, let's leave that and talk about the Olympic trials that will be taking place at Yabatech today. Starting today, so most of the athletes that haven't qualified for the Olympics, track and field, they'll have the opportunity to do so at the AFN Olympic trials. Senegal and Ivory Coast, that's Cote d'Ivoire, the two countries that have arrived for the relay invitations, because they're going to be having up to 10 or 11 track events. And for 7 countries have been invited. So Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire already here. But you're still waiting for Zambia, Botswana, Cameroon, Benin Republic, and Ghana expected to join in today. Blessing Okagbare headlined the 100 meters there. And of course, you know, the African Senior Championship is not holding anymore because it's been flagged up. So this is an opportunity for the 4x100 meters, 4x400 meters, men and women, for them to be able to qualify for the Olympics. And also those who are still trying to make the standard, just to be able to do that.
You know what I love about this? The fact that when our stars come to town, Nigerians show up to show their support now. Okagbare was around yesterday, which was training. There was a lot of support from the fans. Chukwu Ebuka was there. Amosan. So practically everyone knows, everyone knows that these guys are there. These are the people who would see in next month Olympic Games. And we're already hoping, we're praying that they get a medal. But before they go off, we want to see what they can do. Now, we also do know as well that many of them will be putting on display what they have gathered, preparations over time. And we're expecting a good show. The event starts this morning. The 100 meters will also be today as well. A few other events will continue to tomorrow. So we do know as well that many of these athletes are in town. They're here to do what they do best. And it'll give us a good show.
And I love the fact that the international athletes are coming, because at first when they said the Olympic trials is going to be in Lagos, I'm like, okay, it's close to the Olympics. Will the athletes want to come home to compete? But Divine Oduduri is part of, is not around, he didn't come. Well, Chidi Okezie and all other superstars, they're all here.
They're all here as well. So it's a good one. The local athletes are also going to benefit because they're also in contention. And we just mentioned something of Kamaru Usman. That's the same thing. Imagine running beside Blessing Okagbare, and you're like, okay, you know, I've seen her on the news, I've heard her interviews, and afterwards you could get one or two things. Oh, I'm going to show her I can do it as well. And that's also the start. There's that form of inspiration it brings out. When they get the great times, I hope the local athletes can really compete. Put a good mark, because it'd be good to see a few of them. I think just one have qualified. Just one is qualified as well for the Olympics. I hope we can get more on that train from home, because that exposure, the fact that you go international, the Olympics, it's the biggest stage. You get to see what the big guys are doing. If you remember the last time at the Olympics when the Nigerian was, I think it was Divine, when Divine ran in this thing.
Usain Bolt,
you could tell what he meant, because as much as everyone twisted the story, it just told you what he meant to him. He ran with Usain Bolt, and he goes, I didn't expect to get to this point. So it's the same thing for the local athletes. Imagine being up against Esebrume in the long jump event. There's that sort of, I just did this. I know it inspires you, and that's the whole thing about this event. I do hope as well we get good times.
I hope we get good time. The 100 meters men and women final, as you mentioned, will be today. That will start at around 4 p.m. But all of the race walk and 20 kilometers walk race and 400 meters, the short put event, the hurdles event, the javelin, and 800 meters, the 5,000 meters, all of them will be today. And of course, it's going to be a whole lot of activities, 5 days events. We'll see who is going to come out tops. Those who've already qualified will just want to make better times and also inspire the younger ones. Okay, let's leave that and quickly go to the USA. Summer series is over. The Super Falcons 1 draw and 2 losses, losing to Jamaica the first time, and the second one a draw against Portugal 3-3. And against the USA, of course, we know they didn't stand a chance, but then they lost that. Austin, I mean, you monitor how they started from the game against Jamaica and to the Portugal game, which I feel that, yes, that was the fighting spirit we expected to see with Falcons. They did that. And this one, when you have Christian Perez, Lane Williams scoring on both sides of it, but then it just wasn't to be for the USA because, well, when you talk about the USA and Nigeria, we've never been able to beat them at all. Austin?
And then it's unfortunate that a lot of persons are forgetting that. I was monitoring the match and tweeting, and I kept saying that this Super Falcons team improved. I kept saying that I'm impressed. And everyone was coming at me like, Austin, what are you talking about? What they are forgetting is that they are playing against the world's best United States women's team. This is a team that's got Megan Rapinoe, that's got Captain Lloyd, Christian Perez, talents everywhere, and they're playing at home. I said what I said because I saw improvement. I saw a more composed, a more organized Super Falcons team that played the USA compared to the ones that played Jamaica and Portugal. But you see, football fans, the fact that you are scoring and you're doing a lot of kicking and running, everybody believes you're doing so well. For instance, there was a lot of coordination at the back. Onomaebi and the other guys, particularly Michel Alozie, they were making good runs. They were thinking and passing the ball. Yes, the United States did their good job by cutting supply in the middle, but I could tell that now this Super Falcons team, they're getting better match after match on the world drum. People should calm down. This is friendly. The coaches use this to strategize, to see how they can tweak things around. And I saw it when they were not, when Francisca Odega wasn't doing the supplies that she needed to do, doing the run and backtracking the way she should. The coach took her out. He's thinking. He's looking at options. Onomaebi proved to us again that our experience is still needed in the team. Tochukwu Oloi did the same thing. Awesome. So this is a team that is growing because they've lost to America 2-0. And then everybody now like, did they even win anything? So you want to come out and say that they didn't do well? No, I'm impressed. Why am I impressed? Because I saw a team that got better match after match. And that's progress.
That's progress for me. I saw that too, Austin. Thank you so much for that. Now, the USA, unbeaten in 42 games. This year, they are 9-1. One draw and they won 9 games. That's huge. 34 in all and 4 draws in 42 games. That's huge. You're playing against that team who is preparing for the Olympics.
Yeah.
The coach is ready to release his team list maybe on the 18th of this month for the Olympics. The well-oiled team, well-prepared team, and you're playing against Falcons who, of course, everybody come from across the world, gather together in 3 days. Let's play in the summer series.
That's what even makes the results a lot better, because the USA team was a competitive one. Many of these players are trying to get onto the Olympic list. So imagine when you're up against that sort. Yes, I agree with you. I share your optimism in terms of the improvement of our results against the USA. I'd put up a bigger margin. But 2-0, very decent, very good one as well. You already mentioned some of the superstars. However, that said, I still think there's always room for improvement. The room for improvement here means that, number one, very key questions, the goalkeeping department. Did we have just one goalkeeper? The same goalkeeper was there in the game against Jamaica, and she alluded to, we could have done better with that result. The Portugal game, then the USA game. It'd be good to see someone else.
She got like about 4 saves.
But we're saying this because we have an array of goalkeepers. Nadozie wasn't there. But there's someone else. Let's try someone else. It's a friendly. And since there's nothing at stake, we should give ourselves options. The coach had already tried, before this game, 4 local players. And that was great because I felt, okay, the local players flew from here all the way to the USA and got game time in those 2 friendlies. We also tried new players. Now, the question is, will they be available for us? If the answer is yes, great one as well. We also had our known names, Asisat, Rashida Tajibade, and the numbers. So it was good. But over time, the question for us would be, can we take it one level? Because the truth is, when we come for the qualifiers, we'll qualify. We'll beat everybody. We'll get to the stage we want to get to. But this is the sort of games we need. I love what we did against Portugal by scoring 3 goals, but we licked in 3 at the back. So that means there's a lot of questions. Austin mentioned what we did in terms of defensive. Yes, there was good defensive coordination, but even the 2 goals we conceded, that's concentration. That's split second of concentration. We lost it. And if we can do it a little better, I think that we can hold the USA a little harder. Okay,
let's listen to the coach himself talking about Randy Wardrum, what he had to say concerning their exploits in the US in the summer series.
I'm proud of that performance. We obviously had to defend more, and we knew we would against the U.S. But considering where they are in their preparation, and they're a few weeks away from the Olympics, and they're in top form, and we're a team that's just beginning, and then considering the lateness of players getting here, not having the full squad here, the professionalism of our players through this entire tournament is something that I'm extremely proud of. And I thought they gave a great effort there tonight. We gave a goal up in the 46th minute and a goal late in the 94th minute, and played a very competitive game against the top team in the world. So extremely pleased with them. There was one shot in the first half that they hit from range, and it was driven hard, and she held it. Not only dove for it, but held it. She came up big on a couple of balls through and played through an injury. So yes, absolutely, she was fantastic tonight. I think she did a good job. I think they were really trying to isolate Michelle a little bit. They didn't attack the right side nearly as much. They attacked Michelle's side. And I thought, for the most part, she held them in check there. So she's a good young player.
Yeah, the coach right there kind of praising some of the players who took part in it. Of course, proud of their performance, despite the fact that it was just 1 draw and 2 losses at the US Summer Series. Quickly, we'll go straight to the Euros. Okay, we need to go on a short break. When we'll come back, we're talking about the Euros, the games that went down last night, and of course, the games for tonight. Time to talk about the Euros, what went down late last night and late afternoon, and also talk about what's going to happen today. Group A, Turkey and Wales. It was Wales who won 2-0. And Italy and Switzerland, the Italians are already flying high. They just didn't want to waste time at all. Now their winning streak, is amazing because they're yet to concede a goal in how many? 10, 11 games? Yeah, 10 games now. And they're flying.
Well, great one as well for the Italians. 6 goals, 2 clean sheets. And I thought the Swiss team would be a more tougher challenge than Turkey. And I was surprised how they just pushed them aside. Locatelli got 2 goals in that game. It was exciting how they played their football as well. Mancini has gotten a lot of things correct going into this tournament. There's a long run as well unbeaten. There's a confidence coming from the players. There was concern as well. Chiellini was taken off yesterday. So they'll run a test today to know how bad and how long he'll be out for. A survey came on for him. Himself and Bonucci partnered until the end. But I give them credit. They nullified whatever threats that Shaqiri, Embolo or Seferovic had to offer as well in that game. And you have to feel that they're almost home and dry in terms of qualifying for the next phase. 6 points from 2 games. That's amazing. I saw the Wales against Turkey game. So you thought that the Turks would put out something different. Lost the first game, unfortunately. And no one wants to play Italy their first game. Everyone wants to take it a little easy and get into the groove. Against Wales, the Welsh were better. Bale missed a penalty, but created 2 goals. The second, I thought, was a lack of concentration from the Turks. Let him run into the box 90 plus minutes and just roll the ball for Robert to smash that one in to make it 2. I'm like, you know what? You guys have got to do better. The manager is someone who's got experience. It was the same coach who took them to the 2002 World Cup. And everyone says, oh, the spirit of 2002 will be with this team. This team has a lot of quality in defense, midfield, and in attack. But somehow, they just fluff their lines.
Fluff it. Austin, I mean, the Italians, of course, are favourites going into the tournament. France also is another country everyone is looking at. And Portugal. What they've done so far, 2 games, 6 points, 6 goals. And for the Italians, what more can we say about them? How clinical they can be, not even conceding, because their defense right now is solid tight.
Solid. You talked about Roberto Mancini and what he's doing with this team. I think all he did is he just took the mentality of the guys and said, look, if you want to be respected, you must keep some level of consistency. And that's what we're seeing with this Italian team. And it's not just about the team. You see individual players stepping up when you expect them to step up. That's what matters, you know. It's not just about having the big names and then when you get into big games, they don't coordinate themselves. Italy, they are playing like a team, winning the balls together, fighting for it together, making good use of it together, protecting play when they have to, and that's why they're just flipping everyone apart. First match 3-0, second match 3-0, and against Wales, you easily can just say they're going to go all the way. But shout out to that Welsh team, Cecilia. And I told Yemi the other day that group is not the sort of group that you just jump up and say it's Italy and Switzerland, or Italy and Turkey, or Wales and Switzerland, because aside the Italian has proven the point, can still tell that other teams are still trying to find their way. And the Welsh teams needed to win yesterday, and they did just that. When Gareth Bale missed that penalty, I knew one way or the other he was going to step up to, try to get the second goal, and he brought the assist for Roberts to score. Turkey, before this competition, we're having a beautiful defensive record. It got to competition proper now, and everything cracked. So that's football for you. Shout out to all the other teams and the beautiful football we're seeing so far, the Euros.
Yeah, Austin, thank you so much for joining me again this morning.
Thank you, Cecilia, as always.
All right, we're talking about how the group is looking like. Italy, 6 points, Wales, 4 points, Switzerland, 1, Turkey, none. Okay. As always,
there's a room for the best loser. So everybody can look forward to that one.
Okay, everybody. Okay.
4 teams, actually.
Right, games for tonight. Belgium, of course, will be in action tonight against Denmark. After what happened, to Christian Eriksen, so they had to be back here. But then Kevin De Bruyne is back, and the coach has been talking about how it's going to really maybe help the team in getting some good results. Okay, Denmark and Belgium from Group B, the game I just mentioned earlier. Let's listen to the pre-match game, pre-match press conference concerning Denmark and, of course, Belgium.
Kevin De Bruyne is medically fit. He's got the green light to be in a match situation. Obviously, now is the question of seeing how long Kevin can play and how we can use the 2 games that we have in 5 days to try to bring him to the 90 minutes. I'm really pleased with the progress that he's making. Every day makes a big difference. And I could add that Axel Witsel is in the same situation and a little bit different because Eden has already been involved in the friendly against Croatia and the game against Russia. But I think every player follows an individual program to try to get every player up to the speed of the 90 minutes match fitness with the 2 games that we have ahead.
I just had a message from him, then he told me he was okay. And, I told him, to take his time, and whenever he wants to talk, I'm always here. But, obviously, tomorrow after the game, I will send him a little message. Because I think right now, let him spend enough time with his family, because I think a lot of people were trying to talk to him in the last few days. So now I just let him recover, and I'll just message him tomorrow.
Yeah, Lukaku talking about Christian Eriksen there following the incident that happened in the game against Finland that they lost by a lone goal. So today they will be up against Denmark. Okay, other games for today, you have Ukraine and North Macedonia in Group C. You also have Netherlands and Austria. Other games expected to be played today in the Euros. Quickly, Kevin De Bruyne will be back in the squad. And, Belgium, what they know how to do is how to be able to, how do I put it on? They know how to score goals. Yeah, Lukaku has scored 2 goals already, just blazing the trail for everything.
Well, good game for them as well. Timothy Castagne also broke his eye socket in the previous game. So Thomas Meunier stepped up, created 2 goals, got 1 and created the second. Kevin back, that's a great story as well for them. I feel that when you see what he's brought forward or what he brings to the team, his experience, his way of unlocking defenses, that's amazing. Axel Witsel as well, protecting that back four. If he returns, probably means Telemann will have to go back to the bench. But Belgium are spoilt for choice. Without Kevin, they won 3-0.
Yeah.
And that was Russia, by the way. But this time, they're facing Denmark. There's a lot of emotion also. I love what Lukaku said. I'll send a message. The message could be anything. It could be a message. It could be a goal. To score more goals, to send a message that, I'm going to knock Denmark out of the tournament. Because the
Danes... Why are you being cruel?
No, but when he says a message, he didn't direct what the message would be. It could be anything. It could be a goal.
Okay.
Lukaku's main aim is to score as many goals. So we hit 10 minutes. They will stop the match to pay some respect, and there'll be applause round. So I think that's also very good as well. Sign, show of support for the family. And he's also said people should give them the opportunity. Let the family, let him recover. But it'll be a great football game. The coach, Martinez, already said it would be sad not to have Eriksen in this sort of game. But I think the Danes have got quality here and there. Not as good as Eriksen, but quality to hold their own for this game. My main worry would be how much goals will be scored. We've seen goals, so there will be goals.
Okay. There'll be goals tonight, so expect more goals, right? Before we look at the papers quickly, the game between Rangers and Eimba did not hold yesterday, so it's going to be today at 4 p.m. Yeah. Time to look at the papers now. Sporting Life. Sporting Life, starting with Mikel Obi, the richest with, top 10 Nigerian richest footballer in 2021. You have it on Sporting Life. Okay. Why
money makes the world go round.
Okay, yeah, money makes the world go round. And because you've got Ramos set to leave Real Madrid after 16 years. The story is still on, so apparently next season we'll not have him with Real Madrid. And on Avira, Igalo says, I snubbed Mourinho for United. Okay, all right. Okay,
yeah, that was
that's
a Tottenham
for
story.
Sporting Sun.
He didn't go to Spurs. Instead went
to United. I don't understand. Who would have gone to Spurs when you have United on your neck? Come on. I mean, it's just to play for one of the biggest, no matter what you say, it's the biggest club in England. Sporting Sun here, Wales shock Turkey. You also have Okagba Ibrume and Musa others, of course. They are at Yabatek for the Tokyo 2020 national trials. That's from Sporting Sun. And the last one is a complete sport here. Iheanacho Ndidi ready to break top 4 jinx. Can Leicester do this? That jinx they're talking about, which is, I mean, it's not the top 4 jinx they're talking about. Maybe winning the title because you're in a position, you spend almost all your time in top 4 and then you're dropping out of it at the end of the day, at the end of the season. It's like,
I don't think they've got the quality to win the title. I also don't think that the team's jostling for top 4 is very difficult. They need to recruit a little better. Loads of injuries to many players affected their own last season.
Okay. Thank you so much, Femi, for coming on the program
this
morning. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a fantastic day.